Here's what you'll need to do before your performance. You have your pad, complete with the gimmick on the back. Comes that way. You're going to need one bendable mouthpiece, 2 magnets, and a marker. I always turn to the very last page in the sketch pad, and I take the mouthpiece and I put it right in the center. Let's talk a little bit about that mouthpiece for a second. This is the magnet. There's one big chunk of magnet here that causes the middle part of the mouth to open. And on the other side of the pad is there's 2 magnets which hold the mouthpiece in place on the side. So you got to be careful that you don't have it too far over. If you had it too far over like this, you'd get that. And of course you don't want that, and vice versa if it's the other way. You need it to be right in the center, and so that it opens like this, so that when you push the animation piece, the mouth animator, all the way down, it stays on, just like that. That's the mouth, and this is the eye. Eyes, both the eyes. All right. Now once you have the mouth in place, and you've checked it so it opens correctly, I take the marker and I draw a line basically right above it, but you want it to be covered like that. And then I take my magnets. Now your magnets may be a little bit, in the manufacturing process, there's like a little residue on there. You might have to wipe them off because it leaves black marks on the paper. So I take my magnet and I put it on. Our 2 eye magnets. There you go. Now this is what you should do at this point is you should take and color in the eyes with the marker. And now you're set up. Once your eyes are colored in and you have your mouth line drawn, you're ready to go. So what you do is you close the pad and you either set it on your table or in a case or something, and you're ready for your performance. Your thumb animates the eyes by moving from side to side of this bent L piece. And you animate like that. And then the mouth by pushing the thumb down here. And that's how you animate . Now I'm going to go over the routine that you just seen me do. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about the sketchpad. The sketchpad is ran by the remote. This remote here. There's 2 wheels on the side. So if I move the top wheel, the eyes move. If I move the bottom wheel, the mouth opens. Now the pad makes noise, a little bit of noise. Like if you move the eyes really slow, you don't hear as much noise. The faster you move, the more noise you're going to get. So you want to move slow, and if you're going to have it lip syncing to a song, you want the song to be a slow song. But when you have music playing, that will mask some of the mechanical sound that you get from the pad. Before we even start, this is the setup. And what I do is I make sure when I'm set up that the mouth will open properly. Like if it was moved over just a little to the side, it's going to open like that. You don't want that. You want it to get about right in the middle, and you want to test it before you do your show so that you can get it to move like that. Now this is kind of a cool move which I'll do here. You can have the mouth moving, but there'd be another line, and I'll show you that in a second. And you can kind of lift up to show there's nothing going on, and then you're back and immediately in moving position. Okay, so I have a marker. I keep this in my pocket. It's on. I know I'm set up right. I close the pad. Now I just set it off into a case or something somewhere, and then when I'm ready, I get what I call a little finger break right here, so that I know that where the gimmick page is, not gimmick page, but the page that we want to be on. And I start off by just flipping it like this, and then I flip around. The reason why I do this first flip is because obviously you don't want to see this, even though yours will probably be black. I flip. Now I can turn over. You cannot see the gimmick. I flip to the last page from the break. So now I'm in this position. Now I'm just going to show you, but you do this behind, or when the audience is not seeing it, you'd be more in this position here. So what you do, and when you're in that position, is you secretly draw, or not secretly, you draw a circle here, a circle here, and one line. Well, you could actually do more than one line right there. And what I do is I kind of point to somebody in the audience and I say I'm going to do a character drawing. I've been practicing these drawings so that I can do them with very few lines and capture the person. And then I do this, I look at them, and I turn around, and this usually gets a laugh. I said, there you are at your amoeba form. Now at this point, I'm going to put it on the easel to make things easier. I want to talk about this easel for a second. This one is made out of wood. It only costs $14. You can get these at a lot of the art supply stores. Make sure it's not metal because there's magnets involved in here, so you want to make sure that it's wood. I'm going to turn to the side to show you how you have to set it on, because you can't just set it flat like this. You have to kind of set it. I have it setting down right here. You can see that this bottom servo is kind of holding it, and all of the moving parts are away from this. And it's got that little arch right here. At this point, I have when it's like that, I can animate it from my pocket by just putting my hands in my pocket, finding the eye movement, and I can move the eyes. And then I can open the mouth with the bottom part. So you can control it like that. And normally what I do is I'll draw that part, and then I'll look at them, and then I'll do some more drawing right in front of them. I'm not a ventriloquist or an artist. However, at this point, let's just say you wanted this to sing a song. What you would have to do, and we'll show you that in the programming later, is you program to the music. So you program in the lip syncing and whatever eye movement happens, and we'll get into that when we get to the programming. So this is our setup. This is where we're at. You can either hold this in your hand and control it live, whatever you want to do. You can also have an assistant control it for you, and this is also programmable. Like I said, we'll show you that in a second. We're just going to show you the basic routine. So it moves around a little bit. It says a few things. A lot of times, I won't even make it talk. I'll just make it do the movement. And then sometimes I'll be like, the kids will go crazy, and I'll keep it right there. And then the first time they see it move, they'll go crazy. You stop the movement, you look. You could do a lot of little things like that. All right. So now at this point, you've done your routine, it's sung a song, it's done whatever, and you're going to add some detail. And actually, this is the secret of doing it without... I suck at drawing. All right. Hey, how about some ears? Look at that. He's got some ears. And I add some detail to the little guy or whatever.
And now what I do is I step in front, but I'm not going to do that. I'd be like this. I step in front for a second to act like I'm drawing more detail. And what I'm actually doing is this. I move the eyes to the side using the remote. So I move it just to the side, and then I draw a circle a little bit smaller than the actual circle. Another tip while we're right here, the magnets for the eye, they're not totally black, so you can just color them in with the marker. So now, once you do that, and I'm going to show you what it'll look like in real time. Let's just say we haven't drawn it. I go like this, move it to the side, go like this. Then usually I'll add some more detail as I come back. A little mustache like this. And at this point, I can move the eyes a little bit, and you can still move the mouth. And this is where you can do this little cool move. This is kind of cool. It's like, hey, what's up? And then it comes back down, and it's still immediately talking. Now at this point, you're ready for the cleanup. We move the eyes. We went a little too far there. Don't go too far. But you can still move them from side to side a little bit like that. You get to this point right here, and this is when you take the pad. I'll show you from the side. I usually take the pad like this. So I'm in this position. Now if I want, I'm going to just do this while we're in this position here. I still have the ability to lightly move, because there's a spring. I can't go this way, but I can still move it a little bit this way, and then move the mouth as well manually without making any mechanical sounds. So now we're going to do the tear off cleanup. So I've taken it off the easel. I have the ability to kind of jiggle the eyes a little bit, go like that. And now what happens here, we're going to show you this a couple times. I'm going to show you from the front how it should look. As I do this, the mouth rolls, and it's going to hit the eyes. And I did it the way I did it. What happens is the mouth rolls up the paper, connects to the eyes, and then the eyes and the mouth stick to the metal coil at the top, and then you rip it off. Okay, so you grab the end of the page, you allow the mouth to roll up and stick onto the eyes. They continue to roll up, stick to the top of the page as you rip it. In real time, so you can see how it should look. Mouth back in place. Okay, so in real time, it's going to look like this. Then you hand it off to them. There's nothing to see. It's just a drawing now. And that's how you do the basic routine.
When I first created the Ultimate Sketchpad and Notepad Surprise, there's also a demo of Notepad Surprise on this DVD. The best thing, especially for magicians, when I performed this, was there was no switch. So it's like, and that's the thing, I know you can't make a living from magicians, performing for magicians, but this is the thing that magicians did like about it, was that when they watch it, they think, oh, that's cute, it's kind of silly, you know, and then you rip it off and you hand it. It's quite a magical moment, especially for a magician, because they automatically in their mind think, oh, there's going to be some kind of a switch. So I showed you the method of no switch. Now here's a little nasty secret of mine. When I perform this, most of the time I do the switch, because it's easier. I don't have to turn back around and draw in the eyes. So, with that said, you're all set up. Actually, this is what you need to do first. This is how to set up to do a switch. I usually center the eyes about in the middle. Now I draw. And this is why I draw the simple version, because I'm actually going to have to redraw this. Alright, so then I have the mouth on there and I draw the mouth line. Okay. That's the first thing. Oops. So that's about where the eyes are. So I pull this eye off and I draw in the eye. Same here. Draw in the eye. Because this is the one that they'll be getting. So now I flip. Now that was the very last page. Let me take the mouth off. That was the very last page. So then I take another page. Now this is up to you. You may not like this, but I have never had anyone say anything, oh, I seen the other drawing. You can kind of see the other drawing through here, so it's easier to draw. But we'll do the same setup before we start. Okay. It's the same setup. I always, as a habit, I always fill in the magnetic eyes and I draw the mouth. Oops. Not really good drawing of the mouth. Okay, well, just for explanation purposes. So now I know the mouth is working fine. So then I close it all up. I put it to where I'm going to have it, either on my table or in a box or a case or something, and I start. I grab the pad, I go through the process of the same thing as I did before. I open it in front of them. I go like this. I grab here. And I open up to the page where I'm like this. I don't know if you can actually see it, but I can see it coming through here. You know, bleeding, the picture in the back bleeding through. So then what I do is I just do the same thing I did before. I just draw a circle like this. So then I flip around, hey, there he is in his amoeba form. And then I trace the other line, which is actually just the eyebrows and the mouth. So now he can talk, blah, 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 blah. He can move his little eyes. And then all you have to do, I keep it dog-eared right here. Actually, I keep it like that. So now what you have to do is you're going to actually turn 2 pages over at once. The same thing happens here, but I actually have 2 pages. I roll up, I catch this, I go like that, and then I drop that one, and then I rip this off. And it's a quick thing, and the good thing about the switch is you don't have to come in and secretly draw on the eyes. So now I'm going to do the same process, but now I'm going to rip it off. Now, you don't have to do what I did there to keep the finger in. In all reality, I don't really do that. I can grab it from the bottom here and just slide so I can make the separation of the page. So this is what it looks like in fast motion, how it would normally be in normal speed. Then you immediately hand it out and you don't have to draw in the eyes. And it's a quick thing. Boom, there you go. And that's how you do it with a switch. It's our little secret. Here's what you need to do to change your pad. You're going to need some double-sided sticky tape. You can get this at pretty much any store. I have mine ready here. And to remove your pad, you just pull it away like so. Now, if you want, you can remove all this tape, but I almost never do. This is kind of a good time to show you this. You'll see 2 bumps right here. These are the 2 magnets that hold the mouth in place. Right there. Those are the 2 that hold the mouth in place. And you'll see that there's a little piece of electrical tape. Now this will stay on there forever because it's right on this plastic and it seems to to stay on, pretty well. But if it did happen to come off and you needed to redo it, just get some more electrical tape and make sure that when you put your magnets back on, that the magnet isn't right on the very end. It's kind of just right where it is, as you can see it there. Okay, so now what I do is I just take the double-sided sticky tape and I start taping it. I usually tape all the way around the edge. Just to make sure it doesn't pull up at all on the edge. And as you can see, I went off the end a couple times. Hey, we'll just do that. Now I usually tape right on the two magnets. Make sure that what that does is it keeps the cardboard part. Okay, I just ran out of tape, so we'll just go with that. But I did get all the way around the edge. I'd probably, I tape it up pretty good because you only have to do this every now and then. Now you can use any 11 by 14 pad. Now you can get these pads right from me, and we will give you a better price than you're going to get in the office supply store anyway. But you can get them at an office supply store. And I take it like this. I usually put the spiral end away from me, and then I make sure I put it up on the right way, and I line it up right on the very edge here. I try to line it up really good. Now this table I'm on right now is a pretty sturdy one, so I can press down really good. Now if you haven't used yours in a while, in between your performances, it's a good habit to get into, to just press this on there and really examine it before you start. Sometimes I'll even go like this just to make sure it's good and sticky. And that's how you change your pad.